Entertaining Chelsea win. Yes, Don Hussam is doing Chelsea prop because they deserve it, even though they conceded twice. I'm going to talk about all the positives and negatives from today's game. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at DonHussam6. Add me on Snapchat if you guys use that as well. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let's just get straight to it. Chelsea with a very entertaining win today. Now, obviously, for the ones that don't know, last summer or the summer before that, whenever Chelsea bought Joao Pedro, I released a video titled Joao Pedro is the Firmino Regen. Some Chelsea fans in that comment section accused me of gaslighting. Some Chelsea fans accused me of putting expectations on Joao Pedro or whatever it is. And now they realize I'm not lying. Joao Pedro's hold-up play is so important for Chelsea Football Club. I just want to look at the goal that Cole Palmer scored just as an example before I expand on everything when it comes to everything that we watched today. Joao Pedro holds up the ball, looks at the Fulham defender, makes sure Palmer is making the run, and then finds him with a perfect pass so he's not found offside. Joao Pedro, for me, is the key to unlocking all the defenses that Chelsea come up against. Now, a game like this where Chelsea win 3-2 is going to be a common occurrence this season for Chelsea. Now, obviously, as a Liverpool fan who wanted Arne Slot sacked, Xabi Alonso was one of the people that I wanted to manage Liverpool Football Club. Xabi Alonso won many games at Leverkusen 3-2, 2-1, 4-3 towards the end. Patrick Schick would come up with a clutch goal, Wirtz, whoever, because this is his style of play. His style of play is an offensive style of play, is an attacking style of play, where he tries to dominate opponents with you know, attacking. And it worked again today because Chelsea, despite the fact that they let Fulham have most of the ball for the most part, Chelsea were an attacking side today. They only had 40% possession, but they had all the dangerous chances. And this is the thing. Obviously, today, Moises Caicedo didn't play. Enzo didn't start. I'm not going to do any agenda-based conversation, just legitimately. Obviously, without Caicedo and Enzo, the midfield is a little bit like weaker because you had to play Reece James in midfield today, and you had to play, what's his name? Lavia in midfield as well. And Lavia obviously is obviously a injury-prone player. However, I think today's performance was a very good performance. Fulham away is not an easy game. Look, people started on Friday saying it's only Coventry, and then United lost to only Hull, and then we drew to only Newcastle, and then Spurs lost to only Brentford. There is no easy game in the Premier League. There is no easy game in the Premier League. You have games like this where you have to perform, where you have to put your foot in, where you have to score goals. And listen, could Fulham have scored towards the end? Yes, but I've got to be honest. The first goal that Fulham scored, as an example, was completely 100% a mistake from Robertson Sanchez, you know, where it's just near post Josh King finish that he should be doing better. I think Sanchez is a little bit overhated. I don't think he's as bad as some people make out. I don't think Sanchez is this horrible goalkeeper who's like this bozo, blah, blah, blah. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. He makes a lot of good saves. I remember watching games last season where I think Chelsea were at home to Forest, etc., where he made save after save after save after save. You know, he has so many moments for Chelsea where he makes great saves. But today he got beat at his near post, and I think that's a very silly goal for him to concede, and he probably will say it himself. However, the rest of the team, very impressive performances. Reece James again. Reece James is a world-class player. I've never ever denied the fact that Reece James is a world-class player. I think he got what it takes. Joao Pedro, absolutely incredible. I'm not going to sit up here and call a Chelsea player a Firmino Regen for no reason. So obviously I know what I'm talking about. I thought Rodgers was quite impressive on his debut today. He was always trying to create something. Look, I'm a fan of risk-taking players. Today, Morgan Rodgers was a risk-taking player. He got the ball. He attempted stuff. He wanted to attack. He wanted to create something. He wanted to shoot. And I like that. I like players that take risks. I like players that take chances. And even the second goal that Chelsea conceded, you could say that Sanchez should be doing it better on that as well. Maybe he's too weak, but whatever. You know, Chelsea ended up winning the game. For me, Morgan Rodgers gets the ball. He always attempts to drive with the ball. He attempts to shoot. He attempts to carry it forward. And I think that's the thing. Positive players are needed for Chelsea this season. Player that gets the ball and attempts to do something. Player that gets the ball and attempts to create something. Attempts to shoot. Attempts to cross. I think that was missing a little bit from Chelsea, where they were almost playing too tame, and it was almost like it had to be Palmer or no one else. And now it's being spread across the likes of Pedro, the likes of Palmer, the likes of Morgan Rogers. I have to give credit to Lavia as well. Everyone knows Lavia is a baller. No one denies Lavia is a baller. Obviously, his problem is fitness. But if Xabi Alonso can keep him fit with 1 game a week, I think he's probably Chelsea's most technical midfielder, just purely technique. If we're talking about passing, if we're talking about the technical ability of a midfielder, Romeo Lavia is someone that probably has everything that you need technically from a midfielder. However, he's always injured. That's his problem. His problem is not like a technical ability problem or whatever it is. I think his problem is just the fact that he's quite injury prone. You look at the rest of the team, I don't think a single Chelsea player had like a horrendous game or he was dreadful or anything like that. For the most part, all the team performed. Now, I'm going to say something a little bit negative, and I think Chelsea fans, if they actually listen to the message instead of the messenger, they will realize what I'm talking about. Chelsea biggest enemy this season could be Chelsea fans more than anything else. If Chelsea start to put crazy expectations on Xabi Alonso to win the league and do all this, then you're already setting him up to fail. If you want great football, being up there, top 4 comfortably, I'm not saying like where you're fighting for it towards the end. I'm saying like comfortable top 4 and, entertaining football, and you cook, then Xabi Alonso can deliver that. I think Xabi Alonso can win a domestic trophy and finish top 4 comfortably. I don't think you're quite as good as Arsenal. And I said this as well. I don't think Chelsea are as bad as Spurs or something. I think some people are exaggerating. I think Chelsea are top 5 comfortable. From that 2nd to 5th spot, I think Chelsea could finish in any of these positions comfortably. I don't think there's a doubt in my mind that they're going to be in those positions. They have good enough players. Obviously, Chelsea fans watching this know good enough players on paper. It's about fitness, consistency. The reason why I don't think Chelsea can win the league or challenge for the league is these players haven't proven that they could be consistent for a 10 to 15 game run, which is something that you need in a Premier League title race scenario. I don't think Chelsea have that. They don't have the player that can go 10 games straight while performing well, 15 games straight while performing at a certain level. You need 4, 5, 6 players playing at a certain level in order for you to sustain a title charge. However, in terms of top 5 race, I think Chelsea got that on lock. I think Joao Pedro is going to be a problem for the whole league this season. If Cole Palmer can come back to the Cole Palmer we saw in the first season of Pochettino, that'll be a whole problem for the whole league. Morgan Rogers fit in like a glove into this team. Reece James is world class. Lavia is very technically sound, and I think he is going to be a very good player for Chelsea this season as long as he can stay fit. The defense, I think, for the most part, were all solid. Lacroix, very good, Premier League debut for Chelsea. Sanchez, if Chelsea are to be anything this season, they need the real Sanchez, not the Timo Sanchez that we saw today. That's my thoughts on Chelsea. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace out, people.